Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we pay tribute to one of the most brilliant creators of our lifetime, the great Stanley Excelsior. It's lost the Midcard. Welcome. It's a big weekend coming up. We took a week off basically because we didn't really want to talk about Crown Jewel and the shit show that was. So we took a week off, recharged the batteries because we got a lot to talk about heading into NXT Takeover WarGames on Saturday, as well as Survivor Series on Sunday. Lots to get into, lots of good stuff to talk about as well. So we'll break all of that down. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard and hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way. Every Thursday and select Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. There may be a chance we finally do a Monday show, our first Monday show in a while. We may possibly do that here after Survivor Series. Stay tuned to our social media for that to make sure. We're also on the YouTube. You can subscribe to us on that as well. The links to all that are on our social media. Facebook, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. As well as on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also send a lot of retweets of great stuff from the wrestling world. And lately, almost everything that comes out of Becky Lynch's Twitter, we've been retweeting because it's been so great. And we'll break that down here a little bit for you. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host at all the time, for 188 episodes almost. It's Raw F Showtime on the Twitter. Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I am doing well, my friend. What a crazy week of WWE TV that we've been injected to, especially SmackDown Live.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to process, which is weird. And honestly, weird. It was one of the most odd editions of a WWE television show in a while, that SmackDown, wasn't it?
Well, this is what happens when WWE enters panic mode, and they don't know what the heck they're gonna do. This is what happens. Yep. So
Roman Reigns had to take a vacation the last about a month ago, and we'll talk about what happened. We're gonna lead off with what happened, but first, Matt, I know you're a gigantic Marvel man. Do you want any words you want to say about the great Stan Lee?
Man, that bummed me the hell out, man. Excelsior, sir. Excelsior. I don't even think I could really get in deep discussion with it without, losing my mind tonight, and really don't want to do that. We got a bunch of crazy wrestling stuff to talk about as it is, so...
Moving on, probably the hottest thing going in pro wrestling right now is Becky Lynch. Wow. Before we even got to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live this week, the words were flying between Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. It all started on Facebook or on Instagram. Ronda Rousey saying, "Hey, Becky, champ, okay, I took some time and looked around, and I think I finally found the man. Approvable poster. See, you're completely in the foreground, in the front. I know. In the middle, I overlap you a tiny bit, but I figured the front is really what's important, right? So, is it okay if I take the middle front, or does the man need the front, middle front, or back front? Just trying to be clear, so you're not offended, champ." And Becky responds with, "Hey, Travis Brown, come get your wife. She's drunk." Oh. Then it got interesting. After Monday Night Raw, we find out that Becky Lynch is not going to be able to compete on Survivor Series this weekend. So Basically, a concussion and a they call a broken face. I'm assuming it was a broken nose.
I that's what I heard. Everything I heard leading up to the show was broken nose. I'd never heard anything about a broken face. So I think they were overselling it to, basically just tell you how important it was.
He broke a face, is what Santino would say. So unfortunately, Becky is not cleared to compete for Survivor Series. I guess we could just talk. I mean, we're talking about Becky here in the open, Matt, so we can just talk about what happened on SmackDown. Very surreal moment with Becky Lynch handpicking Charlotte Flair as her successor to face Ronda at Survivor Series and hugging her afterwards. That was one of the many weird things that happened on SmackDown Live. How do you process that, Matt?
I mean, I don't think there really is anything to process on that right now. I really just think it's something people just need to wait and watch play out and see how things go. I think a lot of people are making way too big a deal out of that right now, but that's just me. So,
and
what do I know?
What do you know? I don't know.
Just a wrestling fan of 30+ years.
It's interesting, and Charlotte was obviously a little emotional when she was interviewed afterwards as well. Very interesting though for that to all come down. Broken nose and a concussion is the official word on Becky Lynch because Nia Jax basically stiffed her. There's no other way to put it. A lot of confusion surrounded what really happened until a certain fan posted on Instagram made it very clear, didn't it, Matt?
Well, the thing is, I went back and watched the tape after Raw was over because everybody was making a big commotion about the ending of Raw. So I went, I loaded up the DVR and, went directly to the end of the show because I just didn't care enough to say anything else. And I watched that segment back like 10 times. And it was very evident to me that Nia Jax was the culprit, that it wasn't Dana Brooke. And I didn't understand everybody online that was blaming Dana. I'm like, you idiots weren't watching the footage. But my assumption was that Becky caught an errant back elbow from Nia Jax, which knocked her on her ass. I didn't think Nia Jax spun around and punched her in the fucking face. And when that was revealed, let's face it, all hell broke loose on the interwebs.
Yeah, I did not realize. I watched Raw Tuesday afternoon, so I was not on the Twitter, obviously. So I did not see the blaming of Dana Brooke at the time. And I even went back and watched it a few times, and I mean, I knew ahead of time what happened, but at the same time, the camera didn't catch it at all. The camera completely missed it, but all of a sudden you see Becky bloodied. But I'll tell you what, Matt, I think what happened almost enhances this whole persona with Becky Lynch right now, doesn't it? I mean, you got that visual.
She's a badass.
You got that visual of her all bloodied up. Just
a lot of people are comparing it to the WrestleMania 13 image, Blood from a Stone with Austin and Brett.
Yeah. And look who shows up on SmackDown Live the very next night to say some words, and it's Becky Lynch. She ain't at home resting. She's working still. I think it just further enhances her persona. And while it's an unfortunate incident, Matt, I think we just found ourselves a WrestleMania match we can look forward to. Book it.
You would certainly think that that's the direction they're going to go now. I mean, clearly we all think the original plan was, to do Charlotte and Ronda. But, I mean, clearly, if they're doing it now, that's out the window.
Yeah, and look how hot this has already gotten between those two women.
Yeah.
TMZ's fucking picking up on it like it's still real to them, damn it.
TMZ has and always will be a joke, and they kind of proved how much of a joke they were by running that story tonight.
Yeah.
So, good job, dipshits.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways you could do it. I honestly think how badass would it be to just further how great Becky Lynch is? She wants Ronda so bad, she's just going to relinquish her title and demand to be traded to Raw and just take Ronda's title. And then she does it at Mania to a gigantic pop from New York. That's the way I would book it originally, but you can still book it SmackDown versus Raw. But oh wait, Matt, what are they gonna do when Survivor Series comes around and says it's the one time that Raw and SmackDown go head to head? I hate
all one of them has to do is win the Royal Rumble.
I know. I just hate when the force fed lines to sell a fucking pay-per-view. That's what I hate about Survivor Series, is that line in particular. Anyways, Nia Jax posted on Twitter.
Yeah, I think you're making way too big a deal out of it.
I fucking hate it. I hate the line, man. It drives me nuts. Nia Jax.
Relax, McMahon.
Shut up! Nia Jax posted on Twitter this morning. Hey, we don't deliver the mail. Things happen, which is true about pro wrestling. Is anyone going to ask how my fist feels? And,
no, we don't care.
And, I think Becky Lynch had something to say about how her fist feels. She goes, Becky responds, you gave me your best sucker punch, but I got back up to destroy your whole roster. They won't let me fight, but I'll get back up from that too. It's what I do. So enjoy your one free shot, because as bad as my memory is now, I haven't forgotten you, bitch. Fucking A, Becky's awesome, isn't she?
A little bit.
Ronda posted on Instagram a tweet from Nate Diaz that said, if you can't make it to war, you lose the war. You ain't about this life. And Ronda said to Becky, I'm sorry to hear that the millennial man will not be showing up for her legally arranged ass whooping on November 18th at Staples Center. Unfortunately, now everyone knows if someone hauls off and punches you for real, your face implodes. I suggest you keep practicing your tough guy faces in the mirror. Should be very effective physical therapy. This is great, Matt. I love it. It's the best. I think it just made this feud even better. The fact that Becky can't compete this Sunday, and they still are going. Now they have 5 more months to do this, to go at each other in leading into WrestleMania. It's a blessing in disguise, Matt. I honestly think so. Do you think Becky had a response to that? Oh, yes, she did. Oh, and she now changed her Twitter name, too. It says, the man now residing in Ronnie's head, which is fucking hilarious. So in response to the Instagram post, Becky goes, Ronnie, when I got my face broke, I got up, owned you, then showed up the next day looking to fight some more. When you got your face broke, you hid for a year under your blankie. Your mind is as weak as your jaw, and I'm going to move heaven and earth to come destroy them both. God damn, Matt. This is just good shit, isn't it?
It's going to be fun.
Oh! If this ain't WrestleMania, you're missing out on a huge opportunity here, WWE. This is what the people want now. Give us 5 more months of
WWE
this.
Missing out on an opportunity? No way.
Yeah, that's never happened before, has it, Matt?
Never.
So, my God. Best thing going in WWE today, that'd be Becky Lynch right there. Some semi-breaking news came out about a couple hours ago. Let's just hope this ain't a precursor to April 7th, kids. The on-sale party at MetLife Stadium has been canceled due to impending inclement weather on Thursday night. And what did we say when this got announced for WrestleMania? Yeah, we were like,
hate to say I told you so.
Watch, there's going to be a snowstorm, a blizzard on WrestleMania weekend, and it's all fucked up. Well, this could be your precursor, WWE. But yeah, that little party is canceled for Thursday this week. Mike Johnson answered some questions on PW Insider recently. One of them was regarding Impact Wrestling getting changed, and their time slot getting changed, and The reader asks, since Impact Wrestling is being pushed back to 10 p.m. start time, are they looking for a new network or sticking with Pop in 2019? If they're staying on the same network, will Impact try to convince Pop to let them do an edgier TV 14 rated show since they're in the 10 p.m. slot? I mean, Impact has to try anything to get more viewers. And Mike goes, we've heard the company's been looking at a new potential TV partner. Pop moving them to 10 can't be seen as anything but a major step backwards in the relationship between the two sides. I think we said that here, Matt, on Lost in the Midcard.
Yep.
First step to goodbye, basically, was moving them to 10 p.m.
I completely agree.
I don't think you can say Impact isn't trying to be edgy when they ran a storyline where a child was almost killed. Going to a more toddy, violent product is not going to help, no matter how many idiots put TV 14 signs in the WWE crowd. Mike didn't say that last part. I did, because TV 14 is not the answer either, Marks. And Matt will agree with. Matt will give me an amen on that, right?
It's no. I mean, you don't need to be TV 14 to have a compelling television product.
No, NXT.
And anybody the things you do really just doesn't understand how things work.
Mm-hmm. I think I saw a sign the other day in the crowd. I don't know if it was a WWE crowd or something, but TV. It's like, no. CM Punk gonna have a new job, but it's not with the WWE, unfortunately.
Duh.
He's gonna be a broadcaster. He's gonna make his debut as a MMA broadcaster next month. He'll join Mike Gill for live championship events on UFC Fight Pass. Friday, December 14th will be his debut. So, hey, Punk's a good talker. I think I'm pretty sure he'll do just fine in that booth, Matt.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine.
People's Choice Awards this weekend. A few WWE people nominated. John Cena for a finalist in Comedy Movie Star for the film Blockers. Nikki Bella, a finalist in Reality TV Stars Award for Total Bellas, as well as competition contestant for Dancing with the Stars. Nia Jax is a finalist for the Game Changer People's Choice Awards.
For the sloppiest in-ring worker.
Insert joke here. Those awards happened on Sunday. I don't know. I don't think any of the three won, so... Otherwise, we would have probably heard WWE bragging about it.
WWE would have WWE would have touted it. No pun intended.
Here's something to make Matt laugh. Stephanie McMahon was interviewed in Portugal last week and asked where she sees the WWE brand in 10 years, and she says 10, 20, 30 years from now, there's no reason we can't be as big or bigger than Disney. Now, that's a tall order.
She's on crack.
Now, that's a tall order, especially given recent transactions. However, there's no reason why we can't get there. You have to dream big, have big goals, and go after them. Yeah. And in the same story, a great picture of Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder with Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright.
Ugh.
WWE returns to MSG day after Christmas. Updated card right now is Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose in a steel cage match for the Intercontinental title. Strowman and Corbin. Nia Jax and Rousey for the women's title. Balor and Lashley. Johnny Gargano.
Lashley. Lashley.
Now the 24-year-old pound of gold. 24-year-old piece of gold. Happy birthday, Leo Rush. Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, Ricochet, Aleister Black will take on, and Velveteen Dream will take on the Undisputed Era and Tommaso Ciampa. Ooh, how are Gargano and Black going to be on the same team there? Huh? That might be subject to change too. Also appearing on the MSG card, Ziggler, Bliss, Natalya, Banks, and Bayley. Pretty cool. They got some NXT people wrestling in MSG though. Some sad news for our favorite famous dick wrestler, Joey Ryan. He announced at a MLW event in Chicago last week that he has torn his pec muscle, not pecker muscle, pec muscle, and surgery is likely.
Will you stop?
Thanks, Gorilla. I knew I'd get that out of... I knew Gorilla would show up if I said that. But so get well soon, famous dick wrestler Joey Ryan. More on Q&As. with Mike Johnson. Another Impact question. Why is Ed Nordholm remaining status quo with Don Callis? Impact Wrestling's now drawing 100K viewership. Clearly, folks aren't liking Callis' vision of Impact Wrestling, and they just lost their primetime slot. What is Nordholm waiting for until viewership falls to 9 people? Is it time to fire Don Callis? Mike says,
I don't think so.
Mike says, one, it's not just Don Callis. There's an entire management team, including Nordholm, in charge. I don't think you can blame Callis for the audience dropping. The show has moved to a new time slot, which traditionally means a drop-off. If the numbers are still down in 6 weeks, it's an issue to discuss, but in reality, Pop is a network that has very little branding in the public eye. Impact needs a TV partner that's going to invest in them and be with them for the long haul and try to grow the bubble. They don't have that. It wouldn't matter if they hired Triple H to be in charge under the current circumstances.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that is, to me, that is a ridiculous jump the gun thing. You know, the shit isn't going to be fixed overnight.
No.
You know,
NXT wasn't what it was. NXT didn't become this amazing wrestling juggernaut overnight either. You know, it had to endure a lot of pains, which like the original format of NXT, to get to where it is today. Neville, you're gonna see a lot of Neville early in the new year. Not known as Neville though. Pac will be wrestling in Newcastle, his hometown, January 5th. It'll be the first time he's appeared in Newcastle since leaving the WWE. He's also been confirmed for a couple of Defiant Wrestling shows in 2019, January 5th and February 16th. So Pac will be making his return to the Indies very soon. Speaking of Impact Wrestling, the time slot is getting a little bit of an adjustment as it is increased for the second straight week since 98,000 in the first week of the new time slot. Went up to 105 this week. It's up to 129,000. So they are gaining a few more people realizing, oh, shit, it's on at 10. The Raw rating basically stayed the same, 2.45 million, complete with your typical hour 3 drop-off to 2.14 million. And SmackDown Live, the A show, nice bump for SmackDown Live. They go up from 2.08 million to 2.31 million last week. Of course, that probably helps when you have a WWE Championship match main eventing the show, and you announce that early in the show. Couple of rumor killers, because you know how rumors in the internet get started, right, Matt?
No. There's no such thing.
One.
Why you making shit up, JB?
Yeah. One, Braun Strowman does not have heat with Vince McMahon. Apparently,
fucking stupid.
Apparently, someone took something Mike Johnson said out of context. And
what else is new?
And 2, Paige is not cleared to wrestle. Paige tweets, "No, one more knock to my neck could result in paralysis." Don't read the quote unquote facts on the internet. As much as I want that to be true, it's 100% not.
Not.
Ronda Rousey, or Ronnie, we'd like to call her. She's going to be an executive producer.
You call her.
The man calls her Ronnie, so.
I ain't being that dumb.
Ronda Rousey is going to be an executive producer for a new show on the CW called Strong Girl. It's going to be based on a Korean drama that follows a former war photographer named Reina, who discovers that she's indestructible and potentially the strongest woman in the world. The show is created by Melissa Shrivner Love, who is a writer on Fear the Walking Dead. Unfortunately, Cody Rhodes is going to be on the shelf for a little while. He tweeted he had a pop in his knee and is hoping for the best, and we'll have an MRI. That MRI happened. So the good news, MCL, PCL, ACL, all structurally sound, but his meniscus fairly damaged, going to require a scope. No dates will be adjusted at the moment. I'll definitely still compete in Final Battle main event and at Wrestle Kingdom. So Cody's just going to have to probably take it a little easy and then have a little scope. Probably put him out on the shelf for about a month or 6 weeks. More.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He looked like a wreck on this week's Being the Elite. We'll get into that in a little bit. Another internet landslide, rumor or whatever. Alexa Bliss's career is over. So she took to Twitter and said, "I'm not going anywhere," and put a Terminator GIF up there called "I'll be back." So, again, don't believe everything you read, especially on RSN. Did I say that out loud? I did.
Well, you're not wrong.
If you wonder why cities fight for WrestleMania every year, it's because of what the event does for the city. The Louisiana governor, John Bel Edwards, announced that WrestleMania 34 generated $175 million in economic impact for the greater New Orleans region this past April. So a significant increase from $142 million that WrestleMania 30 brought in. So that is why cities love to bring the Showcase of the Immortals into their town. And speaking of the Showcase of Immortals, 35 ain't too far away. Like I said, about 5 months away. And tickets on sale this week. Ticketmaster pre-sale actually already started Wednesday, November 14th. Code Mania35. Of course, there was.
Hope they didn't hurt themselves with that genius code.
Oh yeah. And they were supposed to, of course, have the on sale party, but that got canceled. Oops. So we won't get to see Ono versus Matt Riddle or Singh brothers against Ryder and Hawkins. That's pretty cool that they're putting Ryder and Hawkins together. Maybe they're finally
they're gonna do Ono and Riddle at
Takeover.
Takeover. Well, it's not gonna be on the Takeover card. It's gonna be on
the
next week's edition of NXT.
Yeah,
but they're gonna record that before the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
with the LA crowd.
Yep.
So hopefully, seeing that they were gonna put, I mean, obviously the other match was Casey Catanzaro against Rhea Ripley. Obviously, they're not putting big stars out for this little thing, but I'm wondering maybe if they're testing the waters with a reformation of Ryder and Hawkins. I really hope they do. I think that could be a good tag team.
I think they both could fucking use it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're not doing anything with the guys. You know, if you're not going to do anything with them, freaking, let them have fun with their friends. That's not the end of the world. It'd be really nice, Look, the tag team division on Raw right now sucks ass. You saw the Battle Royal.
Yeah, that Battle Royal.
It's fucking terrible. So at that point, just let them do it.
Yeah. That was the first thing I noticed when I saw that Battle Royal. I'm like, wow, this is Raw's tag division.
So bad, dude.
One of my favorite comedians, Brad Williams, he was performing recently in New York and took a photo with Sal Vulcano from Impractical Jokers, and Luke Harper was in the house, and Harper sporting a cast.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, no, you said it all right there. That's all. I think that was all that's needed to be said. There is a prize for the Mixed Match Challenge this year, not just $100,000 to go to your charity on predetermined matches, but the winner.
Yeah, this actually makes things slightly interesting.
Yeah, the winning team, man and woman, get to enter the Royal Rumble at number 30 this year. So I have not followed Mixed Match. It's not really captivated us.
I haven't either.
Yeah, like it captivated us the last time. I think the round robin format hurts a little bit more.
I definitely think it hurts more, and I'm just not as interested in the pairings this year as I was last year. I thought that everything left quite a bit to be desired this time around as comparable to the year before.
You may or may not know this, but did the undefeated streak of Strowman and Moon get snapped last night? I think it did.
I know Miz and Asuka lost.
I think Strowman.
So I don't know. I don't know if they lost or not. I know Miz and Asuka lost because I saw the video of Miz and Asuka yelling at each other on Twitter. But
Maybe that was the undefeated streak. I didn't know if they both fought or not. I thought, yeah, they did. Strowman and...
I think 4 teams were all undefeated going into the show last night, so 2 teams clearly had to lose.
True.
So I just don't know who the other teams were. I think one was supposed to be Charlotte and AJ, but they ended up like Charlotte. It was supposed to be Charlotte and AJ against Miz and Asuka, but AJ quote unquote couldn't compete due to the beatdown from Daniel Bryan. So it was like Charlotte and Jeff Hardy or some shit like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, whatever, dude.
It's like they're making shit up or something.
WWE making shit up? No way.
Yeah.
Why you lying?
Oh, also, Matt.
Why you lying?
If the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble ain't good enough for you, the winners also get an all-expenses-paid vacation anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
Well, it's probably going to be wherever their live events are at. That'll be the vacation, pal. Jim Ross tweeted the following, that the next 3 shows that he's voicing over for Access TV, they'll be his final 3 shows for New Japan Pro Wrestling. More on Wednesday, which is today. I have not had a chance to listen to the Ross report yet, but
me either.
Jim apparently gave some details on his new on that. So, yeah, I wonder who's going to do that. Is Kevin Kelly still involved with those guys?
Kevin Kelly involved with who?
The New Japan.
Yeah, Kevin Kelly and Don Callis do the New Japan commentary for New Japan, not for Access.
So they probably have to get somebody different.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do.
I liked Ross and Barnett.
Yeah, not sure of the situation that's leading to him walking away, but it ain't any of my business. So it could be that rumored new promotion. So
True. WWE Studios has released a new trailer for Fighting with My Family.
No, I did not watch it.
I didn't either. This says the film is released on March 1st, but
womp womp womp.
But I thought I saw something that said yes. Bear with me a second. The release date is pushed up a month. Oh, it's pushed up to it's pushed up to February 8th. It was originally March 1st, but now that film is going to be released on February 8th. This is exciting for me, being an NWA fan. Ric Flair was in St. Louis for SmackDown last night, and he didn't appear, obviously, on the show, but the reason why he was there to film an episode of Table for 3 with Bob Orton and Harley Race. Oh, that's going to be good.
I also think he was originally brought in because he was going to convince Charlotte to take the captain role of the SmackDown Live women's team.
Oh,
I think the whole idea that Paige was going to have brought him in, and clearly plans changed, so they didn't really need Flair anymore.
So that's still up in the air. So do you think they still hand that to Mandy Rose?
I sure as fuck hope so. I mean, they did the whole storyline the week before that would have implied that she should have been the 5th member of the team.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why they didn't just announce who the 5th member of the team was on SmackDown. It was kind of fucking weird.
It was a weird show altogether. So let's just tack that onto it. So yeah, I'm very hyped for that Table for 3 with Rick and Bob Orton and Harley Race. That'll be fun. Pro Wrestling Tees has announced that 6 days only during Black Friday week, you can get yourself Kevin Steen and El Generico gear. So if you're looking for some Kevin Steen and El Generico tees, or get yourself that Super Elite Cart shirt, which is awesome. I fucking love that shirt. Or the new Elite shirt's coming out on Black Friday as well. The new Elite shirt looks pretty cool too, doesn't it, Matt?
I'm not as big a fan of it as I was hoping I was going to be perfectly honest.
I like it. I like it. I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it. I don't know. When I saw it, my initial reaction was just meh.
I like the new SCU In and Out burger logo shirt too.
I haven't seen that yet.
That was on it was on BTE this week. Scorpio was wearing it.
I must have completely missed it.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that, Scorpio's wearing it. More pre-sale codes for Mania 35 if you want to go and sit in a blizzard. This is
if you want to be a stupid idiot.
Yeah, Matt, tell the fans how you felt when you were at MetLife Stadium.
Oh, I was fucking miserable. Several layers of clothing. I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in PA. I'm used to the cold, but the wind was so heavy in that stadium and outside of the stadium, and it didn't matter how much clothes I had on. I was fucking freezing, and I left that going. I would never do a cold outdoor venue for a WrestleMania again. And the fact that they're going back there to me is just it's absolutely insane. But I'm sure New York, New Jersey paid WWE very well to go have their wrestlers freeze their balls off.
Yeah, but seriously, what if it's a blizzard? What do you do?
Dude, it very well could be. It's April in New York, New Jersey. That's not a guarantee that you're going to get out of that scot-free.
Yeah, so what do they do if there's a foot of snow?
Dude, I couldn't tell you.
What is the contingency plan if there's a foot of snow the night before WrestleMania? I mean, I'm baffled. But more pre-sale codes for Mania 35. This is a funny one, Matt. Lines is a pre-sale code.
Wow.
So you can wait in lines. Mania 35, WWE VIP, BKLYN, that's Brooklyn without the vowels if you are playing at home, and Network. Those are all pre-sale codes for Mania 35 if you want to go freeze your balls off, as Matt put there. Quick check of any breaking news, and I don't see any. No. Has Becky Lynch tweeted recently? No? Okay. 205 Live. Hey, Matt. Cruiserweight Championship's going to be defended on the main show. Holy fuck. At least
did they say that for sure?
I
was eating dinner during a good portion of 205 Live, so I wasn't fully paying attention.
As of now, the only pre-show scheduled match is the tag team.
The 20-man clusterfuck?
Yeah. That's the only...
That's awesome.
Oh. Yeah, we'll get to our predictions later, but things could change because it's a fucking 2-hour pre-show. But that 5-on-5 match is going to take some time, too.
It's 20. It's 10 on 10.
Or 20, yeah. Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. It's a clusterfuck. That match is going to take forever.
Yeah, so as it stands now, 8 matches on the card, 7 on the main card. Cruiserweight Championship is on the main card. I hope to fucking God it stays there.
Yeah, WWE had one of those survey things where they were asking, gauging fans' interest in the matchups for Survivor Series. What match by match, and I even said, I was like, don't you dare, they gave you like a 1 to 5 in your interest.
Yeah.
And then you had comments you could do for each match. And I said in the Cruiserweight match, I'm like, don't you dare relegate these guys to the pre-show again. They deserve better.
Yeah.
So, they actually listened, and they're actually going to let the Cruiserweights have a spot on the Survivor Series card. I think that's awesome.
Now,
and I definitely think that's very well deserved.
Can this change? Yes, it's a 2-hour pre-show.
Of course it could. Yes, of course it could change.
But as of 9:32 Central on Wednesday, November 14th, the Cruiserweight Championship is going to be defended on the main card. So, and hey, we've been talking about 205 Live on the show recently as well because it deserves it, and I really like the time slot right before NXT. So I think it's perfect that I kind of feel burnt out by the end of SmackDown because SmackDown is usually so good, but that's of course we got 3 hours of Raw the night before, 2 hours of SmackDown. It's like, God, I don't really want to dive into 205 Live after SmackDown. Putting it up before NXT is perfect. I love it. I love watching that in NXT back to back. I think it's perfect. So 205 Live this week kicks off with the unlikely duo of Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick taking on Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher. Of course, the inexperience as a team came into play a little miscommunication, and that all led to Gulak and Gallagher getting the win. But I'm sure this feud is far from over. But Matt, I like the dynamics of pairing two former bitter rivals, two former champions. I like the dynamic of putting those two together as baby faces taking on Gulak and Gallagher. I really much like we didn't expect Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler to be paired together, and that's worked very well. I think this is going to work really well on 205 Live, Matt. You agree?
Yeah, I surely hope so.
They did a weigh-in for the championship match. Mustafa Ali comes in at 182 pounds. Buddy Murphy sweats it out and comes in at 204. Right under the nose. And then Buddy gets into Mustafa's face, and they have to be held back. I found it funny that Drake Maverick was holding Mustafa Ali back. Like, you could have broke out of that one, Mustafa. I mean, Adam Pearce is a big boy. He was holding back Buddy, but Mustafa, I think he probably could have broke free from Drake, don't you think, Matt? I mean, King Maxwell.
More than likely.
King Maxwell beat him in a match, for crying out loud. Lucha House Party beat up a couple jobbers. Nothing to see there. But the main event, Leo Rush, Cedric Alexander. God damn, that was good, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah. I wasn't thrilled with who won, but what can you do?
Didn't like the fact that Leo Rush's undefeated streak's over, huh?
Did not.
Well, that's all going to lead to my predictions, which we'll get to later. But to me, it makes sense. It surprised me, but now it's making a lot of sense what's going to happen. We'll get to that once at the end of the show once we get to predictions. NXT this week. Real quick, we'll cover last week just so we can get all caught up with NXT. Heavy Machinery took on the Forgotten Sons. Heavy Machinery getting a big win there. Dakota Kai took on Tainara Conchi, which good to see her back. I always like Conchi. I like Conchi's attitude as a heel. I hope that we get to see a lot more of her coming up. Mia Yim and Bianca Belair get into a backstage, which leads to a match later on this week's show. Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. How great of a tag team would those two guys be together, Matt? Matt Riddle and Keith Lee.
Well, they interacted a lot on the indies. So
did they? Okay, that's probably why they gelled so well on that little backstage thing.
Yeah,
huh?
Exactly.
And Cassius Ono, he hates the shiny new toys, so he made that known. And a pretty cool promo from Johnny Gargano. He says he's basically taking the same walk that he took when he beat up Aleister Black. A lot of Dark Knight Joker mannerisms here, wasn't there, Matt?
I'm not sure I follow.
I caught a little Joker in there. He even said an exact line from The Dark Knight. And then Lars and Velveteen Dream, and Lars gets the win. Obviously, Ciampa had something to do with it. But since Lars got the win, do you think this gets a last-minute Lars interruption and Regal puts him in Saturday?
I think that would be a terrible idea. So I surely hope not.
I don't want it to happen. I want Dream in the main event, even though this ain't going to close Takeover. But I want Dream in a one-on-one title match. So
do I.
I don't want it either. But I just felt it was Lars got the win. So I'm just eerie of that happening on Saturday.
I'd be really annoyed.
I'm eerie of it happening. We'll just put it that way. And then this week's NXT, the EST of NXT. Or Matt, how did you put it this evening on Twitter?
I don't know, the dumbest and the stupidest, the lamest. I don't know. She's just stupid.
Every EST. I like Bianca though. So. But she took.
Not against Mia Yim. I don't.
True, and that's who she took on to kick off NXT. Good match between those two ladies, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mia should have won.
Oh, now Arthur, you know better.
Shut up.
War Raiders, Ricochet, Pete Dunne in the back arguing who's going to represent them tonight, and Hanson says, "Fuck all this bullshit. I'm going to be the one representing the team tonight." Yeah, well, they couldn't argue with that. So Hanson is going to take on Kyle O'Reilly. The winner gets the advantage in WarGames. Now, I was a little confused on their explanation of this, Matt. Is the match going to start 2-on-1, or is the advantage that...
No, dude, it's just like every other War Games in the history of War Games. It's 2 men start,
okay,
and the next person that will come in to give them a 2-on-1 advantage will be the team that won the night. And it's always the heels that win this. That's always the way that
They worded it funny on NXT.
That it works.
That's why I was confused, is because they worded
it's 1-on-1, and then the next person comes in and it's 2-on-1, and then the other team will come in and it's 2-on-2, then the other team will come in and it's 3-on-2, and so on and so forth. So all 8 are in, and then they have the
match beyond.
First, pinfall or submission wins the thing.
Yeah, because what fun would it be when the baby faces not having to try to come back from a deficit, right? As with most of the last NXT before Takeover, a lot of lookbacks heading into Takeover. Then Matt Riddle being interviewed by Kayla Braxton and talking about his experience at NXT so far. Matt says it's been amazing. He made his debut. Yes, he said debut. That was funny. He said he made his debut and it was successful. Looks forward to facing anything. And here comes Cassius Ohno, and basically says calling Riddle a chicken. And Ohno says he's a man of action. He's challenged Nakamura. He challenged Rude. He says the bro show is trash. And Matt says, well, hey, I'll take that test next week and I will pass and knock you out in that ring. So there you go. That'll set up the before the main card, Ohno and Riddle in front of the LA crowd. That'll air on next Wednesday's NXT. Lacey Evans took on Carissa Rivera. Quick win for her as they continue to build her up. They then end, of course, with the who will earn the advantage in the WarGames match. And as Matt said, the heels always win this. That's because, yes, Kyle O'Reilly, after all 8 men are causing confusion, hits Hanson with the tag title belt when the ref ain't looking to get the 1-2-3. So Undisputed Era celebrating as we end NXT. Matt, this week's Being Elite. Was this the debut of James Ellsworth on Being the Elite?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He ran into, what is the other guy's name? Is it Trevor and Arthur?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Trevor thinking, or Arthur is thinking that Ellsworth belongs in the jobbers locker room. And Trevor disagrees. That was pretty funny little cameo by the Ellsworth man there. The running storyline, I would say, for the rest of the year is the Man Called H, and Adam Page looks perplexed at the fact that Cody is opening up a package that has the Stardust costume in it. And was that last week's episode on Being the Elite? Was that Daniels as Triple H?
I don't know who it was.
So Paige has a running notebook of notes from H and thought Kenny was in the Royal Rumble and Cody is Stardust. So Paige is starting to get a little worried, isn't he?
Yeah.
SCU, they're kind of unraveled ever since Flip tried to grab the brass ring. So they couldn't quite get their promo right. And that point right there, Matt, is where you'll see the new SoCal Uncensored In and Out shirt. So go check that out. And then they talk about kind of where they're where they're at on the tour. Basically, the stuff that just happened after the cruise. And Flip grabs that brass ring again with some more super kicks, huh?
Yeah, the whole thing, this running segment's getting weird. Like, I don't understand the Young Bucks fetishes with getting super kicked by Flip.
Yeah, they're like turned.
They're
turned on, aren't they? They're like getting turned on by it, kind of.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
A great cameo though by Stone Cold Shark Boy.
Whatever, dude.
I thought it was funny. Oh. So, and then Nick and Matt are kind of cutting their tour diary promo, and Cody's basically standing in the corner with his arm twitching. That looked a little weird, didn't it, Matt?
Yeah, the whole Cody being possessed thing was very weird.
Because at the end of the show, of course, Triple H shows up with a sledgehammer and corners Cody. So, Paige, his clock's ticking. So we find out he's also got that little ticking clock on his phone, and I thought it was funny when Flip shows up and goes, "Hey, I got the same thing. Mine says 2 years." Oh, we know Flip. I think Marty says the same thing too, doesn't it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long Marty has on his deal. I don't think it's as long as Flip's. I think he signed prior to that.
Oh, okay. And then they're doing a signing, and Kenny Omega's talking about how he's selling a shoulder injury after Skrull put the chicken wing on him in a pool on the cruise. And then here's another weird thing, Matt, on Being the Elite. The whole chocolate cameos for Scorpio Sky.
That was really weird.
He's taking a date home from the hotel. He's at the hotel, getting ready to take the date inside probably, and he's going in for that kiss, and there's Matt with a giant kiss. Of course, that plays off of Scorpio saying, "I could really use $100,000 right now." Matt handed him $100,000 candy bar, and before that it was he would like a payday, and well, there you go. So Paige finally talks to Matt about Cody acting weird, and we end Being the Elite with Cody. His eyes are completely whited out from being possessed, and he starts spewing, I guess, what would you call it, WWE rhetoric?
WWE facts.
Yeah. The second longest episodic television show. So what do you make? Where do you think this is going? Any clue?
I don't know.
Are we gonna get an exorcism of the H demon, the Vince demon, out of Cody?
Oh God. I hope not.
Let's coast through Monday Night Raw since Matt doesn't watch it anymore until Part-Time Bitch loses the title.
Damn right.
The Battle Royal featuring.
I check highlights. I'll check the YouTube videos and whatnot. But as far as giving them my entire 3 hours live on a Monday night, nah.
Yeah, you chime in when you want to. Then when we talk about Raw, and we'll go from there. It all kicked off with a battle royal of all the tag teams on Raw, just to show you how shitty the tag division is on Raw. And how shitty is the tag division on Raw? Braun Strowman single-handedly beat them all down. There was, 10 men in the ring, Matt? Right? 10,
so crap.
10 men in the ring, and Strowman just beat them all down. Did you watch the segment with Strowman and Stephanie, the speaking segment?
I saw bits and pieces of it. Just like I said, I watched hardly any of it. The main thing I watched was the thing at the end.
I thought Strowman did really well interacting with Stephanie here, and basically saying, "I don't give a fuck who you are, and I want what I want." But then, Stephanie kind of bribes him. If you win for Team Raw, you'll get all that you want, including beating up Baron Corbin, Brock Lesnar for the title. You get it all. Then out of nowhere, Ronda Rousey comes out and says there's nothing that Stephanie can do to motivate her. She's been waiting for a challenger like Becky Lynch for some time now and can't wait to show the man how to rip her arm off, unfortunately. Yeah, that ain't going to happen on Sunday. But that did lead to loud Becky chants on Monday Night Raw. And I think that the man moniker is kind of taken off for Becky Lynch, isn't it?
So far, so good.
The best part about this segment was Ronda judo throwing Baron Corbin. I like that. Of course, Corbin trying to talk as much shit as he can to Strowman because Stephanie says he can't lay his hands on Strowman until after Survivor Series. Tamina took on Ember Moon, and of course, thanks to heel Nia Jax distracting, got the win after 8 minutes. Corey Graves interviewing Seth Rollins as they try to get some answers from Dean Ambrose. And Ambrose, sitting on top of the hood of a car with a flaming garbage can beside him, cuts a promo kind of explaining why he did what he did. I thought it was a very cool promo, very awesome promo from Ambrose. And, of course... Are
you sure the flaming garbage can just wasn't a television monitor broadcasting Monday Night Raw?
Actually, I think that garbage can was a replica of the Oakland Raiders stadium.
That garbage can has a family.
By God. I really enjoyed the Ambrose Hill. I mean, hey, you listen to this show, you know Ambrose is my number one guy. And I've been waiting for...
Not you.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a heel Ambrose for some time now to see what he does with it. And I'm not talking about Shield heel Ambrose. Of course, they were heels when he was in the Shield, but you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. That's basically like a Yogi Berra saying there, but... I enjoyed the promo from Ambrose. Of course, that trash can on fire was so he could throw the shield vest in it, and I thought it was overall a very well done promo, and basically said that being in the Shield made him weak, and Seth and Roman made him weak. Drew and Dolph make their entrance, and I'll tell you what. If you didn't watch Raw, go to YouTube and watch Drew McIntyre's promo. That was probably the best promo he's ever cut in the company. It was fucking great. Ziggler didn't even have to say a word. Drew did all the talking, and it was fucking great. So go check that out. Dude's gonna be world champion in 2019. Far cry from 5 years ago when he was with 3MB, huh?
Oh, boy.
Finn Balor came out, of course, because McIntyre took some cheap shots at him the week prior. And this all led to a match. But Drew said, well, if you want to get on the, if you want me to lower myself to facing you, you got to beat Dolph Ziggler first. That led to Balor and Ziggler in a really well-done 15-minute match that Balor snuck out with the win. So obviously we're going to head to Balor losing to Drew McIntyre eventually. Because, yeah, they don't want to push Finn Balor for some reason, Matt.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. Probably a TLC match between McIntyre and Balor, I would assume. And then I would assume McIntyre and Strowman at the Rumble for the title. God hope. Part-time bitch loses that title sometime between now and the Rumble. All right, I
don't have that confidence, sir.
Me and you don't like this. We know that. We know this. We don't like Lesnar having the title. When does he fucking lose it now? Who does he lose it to?
I don't know.
I almost think he should.
And I don't have a good answer for you.
I almost think Drew McIntyre should be the one to take it off of him. That would be a fucking huge rub to take it off of Lesnar.
Drew would have to be a babyface by that point.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, there's always room. There's always room to switch.
And the rumor is Dana White's going to want Brock to fight for the UFC in March. And that's like weeks before WrestleMania. What if Lesnar goes in there and gets hurt? Like, Vince can't afford him to be the Universal Champion going into WrestleMania.
No.
Because if he goes in the Octagon and he gets injured, there goes your main event. And I think Vince already saw everything that happened in the last few weeks about his Survivor Series falling apart at the seams. I mean, a month ago, Survivor Series wasn't even scheduled to be Raw versus SmackDown.
Hey.
That all occurred because of what happened to Roman, and then everything went nuts from there.
Imagine this.
So You got to think Vince has got to know better than to keep that title on Lesnar, because if Cormier beats his ass and he can't compete at WrestleMania,
imagine this.
They're fucked.
Imagine this. That happens to Lesnar. Vince does that bet. That happens, and then a big snowstorm happens at Mania 2.
Oh boy.
Maybe that will finally send him off into the sunset. I don't know. After the match, Stephanie said that Balor was impressive by beating Dolph Ziggler, who was in the finals for the World Cup. And at the behest of General Manager Baron Corbin, she says that Balor is on the team. McIntyre and Ziggler wanted to start a fight with Balor, but Stephanie goes, you guys got to get along because you're now teammates. So, because of course Ziggler and McIntyre are on the team with Strowman and Balor, and there's one more guy I'm forgetting right now, but Ronda Rousey interviewed by Charlie Caruso, talking about the man, Becky Lynch, and Ronda says she was not making fun of Lynch's past in her life, and I was just playing nice, and I'm playing nice, but I think they're done playing nice after what we saw on Twitter, right? I think the playing nice between those two is done.
You think?
I'm sure you groaned when you heard about Ruby Riott breaking Jim the Anvil Neidhart's quote-unquote sunglasses, right? I'm just going to guess you groaned at that. And
it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, look, if they wanted this to mean something, they should have built it up.
Yep.
And they should have had Natty wearing these glasses for like weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, these are my dad's glasses. I'm going to wear them in the ring tonight. Then
Snap.
Ruby breaks them in the next segment. Nobody believes those were Neidhart's glasses.
No.
Nobody.
No.
It's just so fucking stupid, dude.
And then they tried to put salt in the wound with the worst heart attack ever.
Oh, yeah, I saw that shit.
That was badly timed. We finally got the Battle Royal.
Look, there's a reason they call them the Garbage Squad.
We finally got the Battle Royal with the tag teams, and it lasted all of 3 minutes. Rude and Gable win. They're the captains, which, I mean, all it is a title because all the losers of that match are on the team.
Waste of time.
Paul Heyman. We're just going to skip all that because we'll talk about SmackDown because it was him talking shit about AJ Styles. Well, SmackDown happened then. But hey, Jinder Mahal got killed by Lesnar. That was fun. Bobby Lashley took on Elias. Winner gets the final spot. Hey, there you go. I just answered my own question. Winner gets the final spot on Team Raw. And thanks to Lio Rush hiding under the ring, grabbing Elias's leg, Bobby Lashley wins by countout. Okay.
Whatever.
I think Elias as a face is working really well so far, though. And I've been begging...
absolutely correct on that front.
And who's been asking for that on this show for a long time? This guy.
Us.
Right. I guess you too. Yeah, I'll say.
We've all been. I've been saying for months that whenever they decided to freaking flip him, that the crowd was more than ready. That he was going to be a big time baby face. And the smartest thing that they've done with him so far is they haven't changed him at all.
No.
He's the exact same Elias that the crowd loved. The only difference is he doesn't insult the crowd anymore. Other than that, they haven't changed him at all, and that's perfect because you shouldn't change him.
He's been
insulted. Don't change what the fans have enjoyed. Don't change what the fans gravitated to him for to begin with.
Yeah, and instead of trashing the crowd, he trashes the heels, which people like. He's trashing Lashley. He's trashing Lio Rush. I don't know if you saw the Elias promo on Raw, that clip, but he was basically insinuating that Lio Rush is a child and he was calling Child Protective Services to get...
No, I saw it.
I thought that was so fucking funny, man. How old are you there, boy? Alexa Bliss here to announce the women's team for Survivor Series. We already had new Nia Jax and Tamina. and Mickie James. And Natalia's on the team as the only babyface. But she's sent home because she's had an emotional night. That's what Alexa said. Okay. The fifth member is going to be the winner of this match between Sasha and Bayley. But it was all a ruse. They beat up each other for nothing because it all ended in a DQ, no contest, and Bliss says the fifth member is actually Ruby Riott. So there you go. Then that's when all hell broke loose as we get a shot in the locker room and Becky Lynch putting the arm bar on Ronda Rousey, putting the disarmor on her. How cool is that to see, Matt?
It was pretty awesome.
And then the rest is history. Of course, a big melee. All the women from SmackDown invaded, and of course, we all know what happened with Becky Lynch. And the it wasn't an elbow; it was a straight punch that went into to the nose of Becky Lynch. And again, I think it was a blessing in disguise. I think overall, it just adds to Becky Lynch's badass persona. B, it adds even more fuel to the fire that we didn't even get enough fuel to the fire for Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. So now we're gonna put this at Mania, hopefully, if the WWE's fucking smart about it. It was all yeah, I know. You're choking on your arrow on that one, and I don't blame you for that. But it was.
You said if the WWE's smart.
Yeah. I know.
So funny.
I know. If only we were running the booking, we but we're not. Great ending, wasn't it, Matt?
Yes.
The shot of Becky Lynch bloody at the top of the arena stairs. It was so good, wasn't it? It's so good. Of course, then we learned the bad news, but again, I don't think that bad news. I think that bad news is going to lead to greater news. We'll get a good match with Ronda and Charlotte, but we're all going to be jonesing for that match between Ronda and Becky at Mania. And if the WWE does not do that at Mania, boy, they're fucking dumb. But hey. I guess no overrun. They kind of rushed the ending with Steph lashing out Baron Corbin for not having security ready. And what was odd, Matt, another odd part of that SmackDown, there was no Raw retaliation. I fully expected it during the title match.
There you go.
Were you fully expecting it during the title match too?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about SmackDown. We've talked so much about SmackDown. Let's actually cover SmackDown from St. Louis, Missouri, the home of the Viper, Randy Orton. They announced from the top, because of a broken face and a concussion, Becky Lynch cannot compete on Sunday. AJ Styles comes out, cuts a promo, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here's Paul Heyman stirring the pot. He talks about the great in-ring performers and mentions AJ Styles and mentions Daniel Bryan. Well, that brought Daniel Bryan out all pissed off and told Styles, if you say my name again, I'm going to punch you in the face. And, well, Styles, he ain't one to not stay away from mixing up the pot, so he mentioned his name again, and that led to a melee. It also led to the melee backstage, and that's where Shane... of course, in the ring, there was a big melee where everybody tried to break it up, including Shane. And it spilled backstage. And finally, Shane had enough and said, all right, Styles, Bryan, you got it. It's for the title one more time. Boom. And Matt, there was news leading up to SmackDown that something big was going to end the night with, right?
I heard... You didn't want to miss the end of SmackDown, that it was going to create headlines, and then it did not involve the women, and it involved Daniel Bryan. And I'm thinking, Jesus, they're going to fucking change the title, aren't they? And as soon as the opening segment was done, I knew they were changing the title. And there were some people that tweeted me, like, oh, you're wrong. I was like, get back to me in 90 minutes.
Did they get back to you in 90 minutes?
They did. Like, yes, you were right. And I tweet like the sunglasses emoji or something. I don't even remember what I said back.
The deal with it.
Come on.
First match of the evening made Matt happy as Jeff Hardy beat Andrade Cien Almas.
Anytime Almas loses, it's a good night.
That led to The Miz adding Jeff Hardy to the team and making a weird coconut oil joke to Samoa Joe. That
was really weird.
He wanted, since he was the sole captain now, with Daniel Bryan being in the title match and I guess somehow that disqualifies himself. What if he loses? Then he's still not a captain. I didn't quite get that, but hey, it's WWE. Miz says that now that he's the sole captain, he wanted Ray off the team, and Paige says, hold on, playa. Wait, that's Teddy Long. Sorry.
Yeah, that just didn't make it. Honestly, that whole segment didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah. So she made
it also didn't even make any sense that Daniel Bryan's off the team. What if he loses in the main event?
I just said that.
Why is he off the team?
I literally just said that a second ago.
It just didn't make it. It didn't make any sense.
No.
It should have been like the loser, of this match will be in the Survivor Series team spot.
Now
but they didn't even do that. It was just really weird.
Now I thought going with what they did and having Miz being the sole captain, I thought what they did with him trying to get Rey Mysterio off the team, leading to a match, I thought that made sense. At least they made sense with things not, when they, at least they made sense out of something that didn't make sense originally. So now that Miz has the sole captain, he's trying to power play Rey off the team. That led to a match. That made sense, thankfully. And led to a decent match between the two with Rey Mysterio winning. He stays on Team SmackDown. Randy Orton tried to attack Mysterio. Yeah, Mysterio got away, but Miz didn't. He ate an RKO. So it looks like we're precursoring Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio, huh? Maybe TLC?
More than likely.
Becky Lynch came out. Huge ovation. But before that, the rest of the women's division came out as Paige introduced them all individually. Charlotte, Carmella, Lana, the Iconics, Mandy Rose, Asuka, Naomi, Sonya Deville. And Paige is going to come or Lynch is going to come out and pick her replacement to face Ronda Rousey. And the man, Becky Lynch, came out. Big ovation. I mean, she's the best thing going in wrestling today, Matt. You agree?
It's certainly hard to argue that point right now.
She has her own The Man shirt now, too, by the way.
Is that sold on WWE Shop, or is that just something she custom made?
I swear her logo's at the bottom of, like, the period. Like, her logo's the period of The Man. So I bet it's coming.
Crazy.
Lynch said she's angry as hell. Said she took a good beating, but it's never stopped her before. But unfortunately, the medical team will not let her fight. She's hoping someday... she was hoping somebody would let her fight, but unfortunately she ran out of time. She got a taste of blood when she beat up the Raw locker room, mentioning that she had Rousey screaming in pain. Even with a severe concussion and a broken face, I can still kick Ronnie's ass. Best thing going in wrestling today, man. Prove me wrong if you want to fight me on that one. But I know you don't want to fight me on that one. I'm just talking to the audience here on that one.
There's going to be a few people that are going to try to up that argument with you, sir.
Oh, will it be the Bliss Fits?
Probably.
Lynch said that Rousey isn't the baddest bitch on the planet. She's the luckiest. Another great line. Becky's been using bitch a lot lately, and she's been using it perfectly. Fucking awesome. She walked down the line of all the women who said, oh, yeah, I want Ronda Rousey. I want Ronda Rousey. And then finally she went over to Charlotte. Go beat Ronda the way I was going to beat Ronda. Make her tap out the way I was going to make her tap out. And then she hugs her. I thought that was fucking cool. I mean, the wars they were gone through this year, and it kind of, a real life injury kind of turned into a real life decision where, we all know they're truly good best friends.
Cool, yeah.
But now on camera, it's kind of become real. I thought it was a real cool moment. You know, you saying you're not making too much out of it. I thought it was.
No, because I think people online are blowing it out of proportion.
Like, okay, how are they blowing it out of proportion?
That they ruined the entire storyline with Charlotte and Becky and blah 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 blah.
Oh, hey, I'm here to say no. I'm here to say that added another level of the friendship.
I'm just telling you what the people are saying, Jobber.
Hey, I'm here to say the people are wrong. I loved it. I thought it was fucking cool. Charlotte was emotional in her interview with I don't know if it was Kayla or Dasha that interviewed her after that, but I enjoyed the whole thing on that. It was something unexpected, you know, and it was I thought it was a fucking cool moment, to be honest with you. So, I thought that was a great segment, Matt.
Oh, I agree.
With all the women in the ring there. It was Dasha that Charlotte was interviewed afterwards, and very emotional, but a great promo. She mentioned how, you know, she fought with, she spent half her career fighting against Becky. Last night she fought with Becky, and Sunday she'll fight for Becky. So, really cool promo there. The New Day took on The Bar and Big Show. Of course, with The Bar having a match at Survivor Series, it was pretty obvious that we knew who was going to win this one. I really enjoyed the Usos pep talk to the SmackDown tag division in the backstage. I don't know if you liked it as much as I did. I thought it was cool. I thought it was good.
I thought it was fine. It's hard to take seriously with the Cologne standing there.
Yeah, but you still had the Good Brothers there too. So, then we get to the title match: AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan. You know, if I was a betting man, and I am, I would have said, "Oh, it's gonna be fucking chaos." Baron Corbin is gonna bring men in to invade SmackDown, and out of all that, Daniel Bryan takes advantage and wins. You were probably on that same boat, right, Matt?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you expect a heel turn here? What do you think about the what do you think about the heel turn?
I don't know.
Don't tell me otherwise, because that was a fucking heel turn.
We're gonna see where it goes, man. We're gonna see where it goes.
He kicked AJ in the ding ding.
You know what? I think it's Vince punishing Bryan.
Why?
Because he didn't go to Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
I'm not going to give you your storybook ending that you wanted at WrestleMania. I'm putting the title on that. I'm putting the title on you now, and I'm making you a heel.
Ah. But that's
Vince is petty as fuck, man.
He is petty as fuck, but how funny is that when being petty leads to you getting the title anyways?
Yeah, but it leads to him winning the title when he wasn't meant to, and he's going to end up probably losing it to The Miz at WrestleMania.
Oh. We had this conversation last night, and you said you're saving it for the show. So how do you turn the Miz babyface out of all this?
It's easy. He calls out Bryan as being a hypocrite.
Okay.
He went against everything he claimed that he stood for,
mm-hmm.
and all this time you're getting on me for what I've done, but really you're no better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just as bad as your wife turning on Ronda Rousey. And you involve it, you make it personal, and you have the Miz turn face on the road to WrestleMania. I mean, they can easily do it. It would not be that difficult.
Well, will it work? Will turning Miz face work?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at Miz TV. I mean, those have been some of the best things on WWE television this year.
And he's likable enough on Miz and Mrs.
Yeah.
that people will buy it.
And it's been way too long since he's been world champion. Way too long.
I don't think we're going to be waiting much longer.
7 years, right? November of 2011 was that last time he was champ? It's around there.
Probably. I'm just saying. I don't think we'll be waiting much longer.
Nope.
I think he's good. I think they flip the story, and I think Miz will get the title from Bryan at Mania.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong on this, Matt. I don't mind how things played out because we all expected the storybook ending with Daniel Bryan. I don't mind it. I don't mind him being the heel. I don't mind him winning the title last night. I don't mind not getting that storybook. We got the storybook ending at WrestleMania 30. Of course, he went through all this to get back and the road to get back, and he could have won the Rumble and win the title at Mania. But we were all expecting that, Matt. I don't hate this. I don't hate the fact that we didn't get that storybook thing. I don't mind this at all. And I know people were up at arms at him turning heel. I don't mind this at all, Matt. You?
I don't really care. I don't really see what people. I really don't understand what people are, losing their minds over.
Because at the end of the day, Daniel Bryan is your WWE champion.
Look, Daniel Bryan's a great face. Daniel Bryan's a great heel. Yeah. He's done both throughout his career, be it Ring of Honor, WWE, or wherever. He can play either role.
I saw a lot of people who go, "Oh, we're gonna get the AJ Lee version of Daniel Bryan back," and I saw people legitimately excited for that too.
Yeah, we will find out.
Yeah. Let's just put the period on SmackDown by saying great fucking match between AJ and Daniel Bryan, but I mean, no surprise there. Went about 20 minutes and didn't go exactly how we thought it was going to go, but holy shit. I mean, the crowd sitting in stunned silence at Daniel Bryan winning the title tells you everything you need to know about what happened, right, Matt? I mean, it was insane.
I don't know if I call it stunned silence.
It was a lot of. It wasn't a pop. I'll tell you that. It wasn't a big pop. I'll tell you that much. But wow.
I don't know. I think there definitely was a pop when the title changed.
Oh, I'll
and I think the mood altered when Bryan attacked him after the bell.
Afterwards, yeah. Yeah, wow. I mean, that was a lot to process. A weird Tuesday night we witnessed last night for damn sure. All right, we got Takeover WarGames this weekend. We got Survivor Series as well this weekend. Let's give our predictions, Matt. Only four matches on the card for Saturday. That means everybody's going to get a lot of time. Of course, obviously, 2 out of 3 falls is going to take some time. The WarGames match is going to take a lot of time. We got an NXT Championship match that'll take a lot of time. Black and Gargano could easily get 15 minutes. So we're going to have 4 lengthy matches. I think we're going to be in for a wild ride on Saturday. Let's kick it off, Matt, with the NXT Women's Championship. 2 out of 3 falls. Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane. What is your prediction on the women?
Dude, I put the title back on Sane, and I bring up the 4 horsewomen on Survivor Series the next night to cost Charlotte the match.
The
setup the horsewomen versus the horsewomen. Again, they could stretch that all the way to Mania if they wanted to.
Yeah, but don't you want Becky and Ronda at Mania 1-on-1?
They don't need to go 1-on-1 if they don't want to.
Okay. God, but is it too soon for Duke and Shafir?
Not if they're being carried by Shayna and Ronda.
I know we're both in agreement that Shayna's well beyond ready. Well, I guess we could look at the Riot Squad in that situation, right? we all know Liv wasn't
probably
ready.
More ready than a majority of them. But hey, look, Liv's gotten a lot better.
She has, and we've said that. We've said that publicly on the show. I've said it publicly that I'm enjoying.
I'm not a Liv fan, not by any stretch of the imagination. But look, if you're going to sit there and tell me that she hasn't gotten better since she's come up to the main roster,
you're full of shit.
You're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
She's definitely improved.
Now, you're not going to go as far as I'm going to go as far, but I'm going to go as far to say as I've been enjoying what the Red Squad's done lately. So
that I ain't going that far, brother.
The breaking of the sunglasses, I'm not talking about that. I thought that was fucking stupid. But overall body of work in the latter half of 2018, I think has been good for the Riot Squad. that whole story, that's just Vince booking idiocracy. But I agree. I did not think of calling the 4 horsewomen up because I just think it's too soon. But I do agree with you that I think Kairi Sane's going to beat Shayna 2 out of 3, and Shayna's kind of gonna. I think Shayna at least is gonna appear on television, maybe even as soon as Sunday. But I don't know about the other two, but I can see it the way you explain it. So, but I agree with Sane there as well. Singles match, grudge match, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano. This has been a highly explosive feud ever since Johnny was announced as the man who attacked Aleister Black, the man who done it, so to speak. I fully expect Johnny Gargano to get the upper hand on Aleister Black on this one, Matt. I almost think this might be Black might get called up after this too.
I don't think you should be bringing anybody up from NXT right now until after WrestleMania.
Well, you're bringing up 4 horsewomen.
Yes, in a division that's not very large at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I say you bring up.
It's not like the women's division on either brand is gigantically huge.
Yeah. So you bring the women up on Raw and you bring Black up on SmackDown.
I don't bring any men up until after WrestleMania.
Who do you got in that match?
You think you got to think Black.
Okay, I think Gargano, but
to me it makes a lot more sense with Black winning.
Revenge, okay. I think bigger picture
because I don't think Velveteen's winning the title.
No, I don't either. Which, hey, let's go into that right now. But hey,
we just said it. We both just said it. I mean, neither of us think look, I'd love for Velveteen to win the title, but I don't think it's going to happen.
He's got plenty of time. He's got plenty of time to be a champion.
Because to me, it just makes sense that he does what he needs to do. Black does what he needs to do with Gargano, and he gets his rematch against Ciampa.
Okay. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me, but in my head right now, I'm thinking Gargano wins for some reason. But let's just...
the only way Gargano wins is if Ciampa helps him win.
DIY is reformed. Let's just talk about the NXT Championship just for a second and just say how great it is for Velveteen Dream to be in this position.
I'm not arguing that.
I know you're not going to argue that. That's why I just wanted to mention it since we already put our predictions out there. And the WarGames match, Undisputed Era versus Dunn, Ricochet, and War Raiders. Matt, I think this is booking 101. They're making Dunn, Ricochet, and War Raiders look like they can't work together, but in the end, they're going to win.
No, I agree. The Undisputed Era won WarGames last year. I don't see them winning 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I think it's booking 101. They're making them look like they can't work together, but in the end, they're gonna come out on top. All right, Survivor Series, 8 matches are on the card, and hopefully that Cruiserweight Championship stays on the main card as it is right now. Matt, let's just talk about the pre-show, and let's just hope to God fucking Team SmackDown wins against Team Raw on the tag teams.
I wouldn't bet money on it.
Oh, the division is miles better. Miles in the court.
It should win, dude, but logic dictates in WWE nowadays. I don't put anything past anything.
Now, they've been bragging about how Raw's won this battle, which makes me think SmackDown's winning the battle overall this year, but I don't know. Cruiserweight Championship, please stay on the main card. Buddy Murphy, Mustafa Ali. I think it's a short reign for Buddy Murphy. I think Mustafa Ali wins the title and Cedric Alexander turns heel. I think it's all... And the fact that Cedric Alexander beat Lio Rush to give Lio Rush his first loss on 205 Live in the Cruiserweight division, I think that basically cemented my pick that Mustafa Ali is going to win, Cedric turns heel. What do you think, Matt?
It works.
You agree? You think it's good? You think a title change is coming then?
Sure, why not?
If it's on the main...
honestly, dude, I really don't give a damn enough about the show to really think too deeply into any of these predictions this week. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't. Like, I hate to even say that, but I don't care.
Well, let me tell you something, Matt. Doesn't it just kind of seem like this just... there was no build to it. It just kind of popped up. They're all worried about... They're all pimping Crown Jewel and Evolution, and this just kind of popped up. Yet this is one of their big four. Doesn't it feel like that?
It feels like a throwaway show.
Yeah.
You know, I just... really whatever to me, man.
Who would you have win between AOP and the Bar?
I think you got to put AOP over, in my opinion.
Yeah,
AOP needs that win more than the Bar needs it.
Yep. They're the new guys on the block. They're new champions. The Bar, well established. They could take the loss, right?
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
I just want to see a face-to-face between Drake Maverick and Big Show, though.
Oh, God.
Please give me the face-to-face. What do you think of Drake Maverick still running 205 Live, and you okay with what they're doing? It's almost like he's two separate entities at this point. He's still being the unbiased general manager at this point. What do you think of that?
I really don't think it's that big of a deal.
You're fine with it?
To me, they're two separate universes anyway.
True. To Vince, they are.
Yeah. Exactly.
So same with Lio Rush. So it's great to see those two guys. You know, I'm a fan of both guys, Drake Maverick and Lio Rush, and so it's good to see those guys on the main stage with Raw too. And Leo's doing a hell of a job as Lashley's manager. Fight me on that.
Lashley.
I know you're not going to fight me. I know you're not going to fight me, Matt. But anybody wants to fight me on that, fight me, because Lio Rush is doing a fucking great job as his manager.
Lio Rush is awesome, man.
He is amazing. I knew he could. I knew he could talk, but I didn't know he had that in him, and I didn't know he was that great of a talker. And now he's like one of the best talkers on Raw, man. It's great.
I've always knew he had. I always knew he had this in him.
Well, look where you're living, and look where Lio Rush came from. So you knew him more than I did. So, women, Raw, SmackDown. I think the heels, basically, it's a heel Raw team against a mostly face SmackDown team. I think the heels of Raw take this one, Matt. Especially since we don't know who the fifth woman on SmackDown is yet.
I hate the women's Raw team, so I'm going to just vote for SmackDown just for the sake of it.
Just for the sake of Mandy Rose possibly being the captain.
I don't know if she'll come in as. I don't know if they make her captain out of the team, but I definitely feel like she should be on the team.
Men, Raw, Ziggler, McIntyre, Strowman, Balor, Lashley taking on SmackDown, Miz, Shane O'Mac, Ray, Joe, Jeff. This one I don't have a strong feeling of either way. Where are you going with here?
The Raw team's won 2 years in a row. I think it's SmackDown's turn to win.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What the fuck with the World Cup?
Do we have to talk about that?
I want to see if there's any sense that we can make out of this that haven't found yet.
It's a vehicle to turn Shane heel.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Okay.
There's nothing really more to try to figure out, dude.
I
think you're looking too hard for something that's not there.
Secondary champion versus secondary champion Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura. This probably is going to steal the show. Please give them 20 minutes. But Dean's going to cost Seth. Shinsuke wins.
You would certainly think Dean would get involved here, but you never know.
But this is going to steal the show, ain't it?
It should be the best thing on the card with Ronda and Becky not happening anymore. Ronda and Charlotte could still be a really good match.
Oh yeah, it will.
But if Rollins and Nakamura are given time it should be the best thing on the show.
Now, what I really would hope for is Buddy and Mustafa to steal the show, and put a cruiserweight stamp on that pay-per-view, because I think they can. Is this as obvious as I think it is? Ronda Rousey, Charlotte. It's obvious, right? Ronda.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a no contest, like I told you about burning out the horsewomen and shit.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there should have been a finish to Ronda and Becky.
No.
Why does there need to be a finish to Ronda and Charlotte?
Okay. I wasn't thinking that way. I was thinking
I'm still leaning. I don't think there's going to be a finish to that match. Okay. I don't really think it didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was Becky or it didn't matter if it was Ronda. I don't think we were getting a finish.
Well, that hug between Becky and Charlotte opens that door of the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen now. So, all right, here we go. The match.
And Sasha and Bayley, conspicuous by their absence on the Raw team, have nothing to do on Sunday, except for maybe run out and save Charlotte from a 4 horsewoman beatdown.
Ooh.
Just throwing it out there, brother.
Look at you with the logic. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know, man. Heart versus head here. Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar. This is going to be fun. Just like AJ and Brock was great. It was like one of the best matches of last year. I think it won. Did it win our match of the year last year? On WWE?
Oh man, I don't even remember. Maybe
it was nominated. We'll just go that far that it was nominated for a marquee. This is weird because now it's heel versus heel. People are sick of Brock, so they're booing him. Daniel Bryan turned heel.
Look, you got the fans are going to go with the quote unquote lesser of two evils here.
Daniel Bryan.
And even though Daniel Bryan's considered a quote unquote heel right now, I think the crowd's going to be behind Bryan. To me, like I said this on Twitter last night. The smartest thing they could do is have AJ Styles run out and attack Daniel Bryan, and have Daniel Bryan win by disqualification.
See,
to me that would be the best fit, because they're not going to let Bryan pin or submit Brock. No. It's not going to happen.
It would be great. It'd be so great if Brock tapped out, but no, he's going to UFC.
Yeah, so let's get real. That's not fucking happening.
No, that's a pipe dream. That's a pipe dream. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the best outcome we can have right now, since Styles is not on the SmackDown team, you got to think they're going to want him on the pay-per-view in some form. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So him getting involved in the finish of that match, to me would make all the sense in the world.
Yep.
So,
but hey, that's gonna be fun to watch too. My initial thought was that AJ was actually gonna beat Lesnar, and with all this up in the air shit with Cormier and whatever's next for Lesnar in the UFC, it was up in the air. I thought that AJ would beat Brock at Survivor Series and lead to a rubber match at WrestleMania. That's obviously out of the cards now, but so
yeah, that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, I could see Brock by DQ. My gut is Bryan's going to win the match, but I could see your way as well. I'm going to still go Bryan beats Lesnar somehow.
Like I said, Bryan could beat Lesnar by disqualification.
AJ can accidentally hit Lesnar somehow, or
No,
something.
if AJ attacks Bryan, Bryan wins.
Yeah, that's true.
If AJ attacks Brock, Brock wins.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
AJ runs in and he just starts pounding on Bryan out of pure rage.
And Brock F5s everybody to make Vince's boner.
And well, what would happen afterwards? Brock would get pissed and he'd German everybody to hell, and he'd stand there tall, but Bryan would win by DQ. It's kind of just like the best option you can do.
Yeah, I can see that. So I guess my gut feeling of Bryan winning is correct by by your logic, so that's cool. Are you looking forward to this weekend at least? I mean, I know it's kind of a throwaway.
Honestly, no, I'm not.
Really?
I'm not looking forward to it. The main thing I'm looking forward to Takeover.
Of course, we all are.
But I'm not looking forward to anything else. Like the main thing I was looking forward to on this show was Ronda and Becky, and we're not getting it now. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, man.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Thursday, and select Mondays after a double E pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. Links to all that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Also on our Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share some of the great tweets from the wrestling world. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into that sunset, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
I hope I end up enjoying Survivor Series more than I think I'm going to. And
that'll probably hinge on a post show as if we enjoy it, right?
Yeah, dude, because if I hate the show, I'm not going to sit down and record a post-show rant about it for an hour and a half.
Yeah, and if we're exhausted by the show, we're not going to do it either. If it's an exhausting, long show, we're not, so, it's in Vince's court if we're going to do a show on Sunday, right?
I definitely think so. Apparently, WGN asked CM Punk what it would take to get him back in the wrestling ring, and his answer was a time machine.
Great Scott!
So, there's that. That's actually a better answer that he's given over the past couple years, so maybe there's hope after all.
I almost want to respond to that response and say, so you're saying there's a chance. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We may catch you on Monday. If not, we'll catch you on Thursday. Have a good one.